One Man's Opinion. Today I am once again reviewing The Prom, this time at Sharon Playhouse with music by Matthew Sklar, lyrics by Chad Beguelin, book by Bob Martin and Chad Beguelin, based on an original concept by Jack Vierdel, directed by Karla Andress, choreographed by Krystyna Resavy, and running through August 11th at the Playhouse at 49 Amenia Road, Route 343 in Sharon, Connecticut. Get your zazz on and come and visit my Patreon page, where you can, for as little as $1 a month, support this show as well as my classic cinema podcast, Yesterday's Matinee, where our latest episode, the Senegalese French film Black Girl, is currently available for members. Thank you to my current patrons, especially my Neo and Hamilton Pier patrons, and welcome to the new ones.
See The Prom, Broadway's hit musical comedy. Variety said The Prom reminds you what Broadway heart and chutzpah are all about. The New York Times called The Prom a joyful hoot. Its kinetic dancing, broad mugging, and belty anthems makes you believe in musical comedy again. The Prom at the Sharon Playhouse, July 26th through August 11th.
Taking into consideration that I reviewed a different production of The Prom just 2 episodes ago, there may be some redundancies for my regular viewers, so bear with me as we get past my opinion of the show as a story and get to the review of the production itself. Still, upon repeat viewings over the matter of a couple weeks, I have a couple additional thoughts I may add. So yeah, as you may already be aware, I'm not a big fan of The Prom. I mostly enjoy Matthew Sklar's score, but I think the book is weak. That weakness comes from the story picking the wrong narrative as its primary focus. The Prom should be about Emma Nolan, here played by Hannah Jane Moore, and Alyssa Green, played by Sophie Nasiri Morvillo. 2 high school lovers finding the strength to overcome the bigotry of their classmates and families. Instead, we get a musical about narcissistic Broadway actors attempting to advocate for Emma and Alyssa for the sake of improving their own public image and learning that the world does not revolve around them. Though Emma does get the final bow of the show, she mostly plays second fiddle to the more eccentric and colorful Broadway characters. This is a shame, as there could have been a far more complex narrative focusing on the real conflict, Emma and Alyssa versus Edgewater, Indiana, particularly Alyssa's alt-right conservative mother, Mrs. Green, played by Tracy Liz Miller. Instead, we are left with poorly written conservative stereotypes. So, after rehashing that in different words, how do I feel about Sharon's production? It's actually pretty good, with some unfortunate missteps. With a large ensemble, the production feels alive and lived in, with the ensemble playing a colorful group of high schoolers, with Krystyna Resavy's choreography giving them that extra burst of energy to fill the theater. Kathleen Deangelis' costumes are dazzling, especially for Kate Baldwin, who plays Broadway diva Dee Dee Allen, and though I like Christopher and Justin Swader's scenic design, the sight lines into the wings were wide open from where I was seated, and all the movements of the sets backstage was distracting. So I highly encourage everyone to sit center house to avoid the sightline issue. The cast is overall solid. There seemed to be some jitters by Moore and Morvillo, but they both seemed to relax into it as the show progressed. I do wish that Sharon Playhouse did what Playhouse on Park did with the song Unruly Heart. Both Emmas couldn't play guitar, so what Playhouse on Park did was have Emma hit play on her laptop, so it would seem like the music was played from there instead of mimicking playing guitar. I have a general disdain for fake guitar playing. The highlight of the show is Kate Baldwin, who is superb as Dee Dee Allen, peppering her performance of Dee Dee with a brilliant degree of oblivious narcissism. It's funny, saucy, and I think the best performance of the role I've seen. John Scherer, who plays Barry Glickman, the aging gay actor of the Broadway Brigade, is solid with a sort of Nathan Lane quality about him, but with a better voice. Danny Drews, who was just in Sharon Playhouse's production of Rock of Ages as Stacey Jacks, is far better suited here as the arrogant young Juilliard grad Trent Oliver. He has just enough flash and snark to make him annoying, but not horribly unlikable. Because unlikable characters is a general issue I have with The Prom, and yes, aside from Emma, Alyssa, and their principal, Mr. Hawkins, played by Eric Pinnock, they are generally unlikable. But Baldwin, Scherer, and Drews do their best to give their end of the problem as much of a rounded performance as possible to give these characters some depth. So there are hits and misses here. Some of the performances are good, with Baldwin giving a standout excellent showing. The ensemble is bright and energetic. The kind of exuberance and life helps make the prom at least entertaining for me, even though I'm not a personal fan of it. So again, like my last review of the prom, if you liked the show, you'll probably enjoy this production, especially if why you like the show is because of the Broadway characters. But I'm only one man's opinion, so be sure to leave yours in the comments below. If you'd like to see the prom, I'll leave a link in the description where you can get tickets. Also in the description will be a link to my Patreon page. Visit there if you'd like to support the channel. You can also support the channel by liking, sharing, and subscribing, and click the notification bell to be alerted to future reviews. My next review will be the Broadway production of Job. Thank you for watching, and I will see you at the theater.